G'day. Today we've got a 96 Range Rover in. It's got the 4-litre petrol motor and it's got the 4 HP 24 transmission in it, the 4-speed automatic. Now what's happening, the owner's just bought it and he's brought it in. There's a bit of a noise, he believes it's in the transmission. We'll check the oil level in it first before we go for a test drive. Over full. But what we can do is isolate whether it's in the transmission or if it's in the transfer case or the diffs. The way we do that is while you're driving along, you can select the other gears manually. I'm in 3rd gear, the noise is still there. The noise is sort of wavering there, I don't know if you can hear it on the camera. I've just got to... Now we're in 1st gear. A little bit hard to hear it in 1st gear because it's under load. Got the noise in 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, very easy to hear. And if we coast in neutral, there's no noise, but there's also no load on the differential or on the transfer case. So I don't believe the problem's in the transmission. It's more likely the collapsible spacer in the diff is gone, and it's not creating a constant pressure on the gears on the pinion and the crown wheel in the diffs. Now I can select those gears through and the noise is still there. It wavers a little bit in 2nd gear. You can sort of feel that. I don't know if you can hear it, but every time I go over a little bump or something, that noise sort of alternates with the bumpiness in the road. I won't go into 1st gear until I slow down anyway. We're at about 60 kilometres an hour now. There we go. Can't really hear the noise. If you know what to listen for, you can hear the noise in 1st gear, but because the engine revs are over 3,000 revs, you can't really hear it either. 2nd gear you can hear it, 3rd gear you can hear it, 4th gear you can hear it. The noise just starts to come in at about 40 kilometres an hour. So if I just try and maintain 40, 50 kilometres an hour, sort of under load, not coasting, the noise is there all the time, even in first gear. It's a little bit hard to get up to speed in reverse. We'll see if we can get it to make that noise in reverse as well. No noise in reverse. And the problem can also be in the transfer case, but there's straight cut gears in the transfer case, so I believe it's more likely in the diff. Transmission there. These transmissions came out in a few different vehicles of its time. Porsche, BMW, Jag, Pinzgauer. So we'll just give it a bit of a clean. We're going to do a transmission service on it as well. Now what happens with these, they have the differentials, they have what's called a collapsible spacer, and that sort of acts like a spring to create a tension or a constant meshing of the teeth between the pinion gear teeth and the crown wheel pinion teeth. You want to have a constant apply of the gears, or the gears can actually sort of flutter around. So you don't want to have it too hard and you don't want it too light. I'd say the collapsible spacer on this has collapsed, or the tension has reduced in that spacer, and then you get that noisy sound coming out of the diff. Sometimes even it doesn't look like it's been serviced for quite a while. So sometimes putting some new fluid or gear oil in there will improve it. In the old days, they used to put banana peels in there just to thicken the oil up as well. And one telltale sign of that would be the banana smell when you take the filler off, if someone's done that, trying to reduce that noise. And there you can see the filter there, and it's got like a little snorkel that you bolt on as well, especially on the four-wheel drive ones. Now just make sure you compare the filter, and you've got to have an O-ring on the pickup side, and also there's a little O-ring under here on the snorkel. Make sure they're there, or you're going to be sucking air and causing a problem. Now these pants have a tiny little magnet on the drain plug, but we're going to add a neodymium magnet on it as well. And the pan seal, you just stretch it a little bit like that. You want to make it sit properly. Sometimes when they're in storage for a while, they go a little bit, they contract a little bit. There we go. Make sure it sits on nicely and it's not pulling to one side or twisting to the inside or outside. Hands back on. Just make sure that that seal's on nice and evenly, and just visually check it, make sure it hasn't sort of folded in or out. It's got to be nice and even. These little aluminium stops, don't over tighten them. I've seen a lot of cases where people over tighten them and they actually crack them. You just do it up and not over tighten it. While we're under here, we're just going to check all the universal joints, make sure they're all okay. All the mounting rubbers up on the engine, on the transmission, and any leaks or anything that might seem out of the ordinary. It's good to advise the customer of any problems. He has got a major rear main seal leak here, so that'll need to be addressed as well for him to get it on the road. The front diff looks like it's had a pinion seal leak as well, so it's probably not a bad idea to just check the oil level in that as well. Anyway, I hope that has helped. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you like, buy me a beer. Thank you for watching.